Welcome, I'm Linda, and this is No Frills ASMR. I thought today we'd talk about the U.S. federal government. This will be 100% non-political, just discussing the makeup of the United States federal government from a very basic level. Part of why I do this channel, some of you have been listening for a while might know, my dad has Alzheimer's, and every now and then I have memory issues that, concern me a little bit. So I'm trying to do new things, learn new things. So this channel is part of that project, just doing the channel, but then also kind of reminding myself of things like about the U.S. federal government. So let's begin. So the way the government is set up, the Constitution provided a separation of power. So we have 3 branches of government, so that not just one branch has full power. So we have the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. So these are the 3 branches of government that are underneath the umbrella of the U.S. federal government. The executive branch is the White House. The legislative branch is the United States Capitol. And more generally, I guess, the Supreme Court is the judicial branch. So within the executive branch, we all know in the White House, there's the president and the vice president. The legislative branch consists in the U.S. capital of Congress. Congress is a bigger term for the Senate and the House of Representatives. So the House of Representatives and the Senate together make up Congress. So that's the U.S. Capitol. The legislative. Okay. So then we have the judicial branch, which is the Supreme Court, but also all of the federal and state courts. They're all part of the judicial branch. And all these branches, there are more to this, but this is the basics. So you have 3 branches. You have the executive, which is the president and the vice president. You have the legislative, which is the United States Congress. And you have the judicial, which is the courts. And the legislative branch, part of their duties is to make laws. So they make, why am I not fitting this in? Okay, hold on, we gotta make it smaller. If you're expecting something very professional, you've come to the wrong place. Okay, so the vice president, let's see. So they carry out the laws, the president and the vice president. And then the judicial branch is in charge of evaluating the laws. So there you have it. Government is easy. It's just 3 branches. And the point of this is checks and balances. So if this branch starts to do something funny, these guys can evaluate that. These guys make the law, but they decide whether to carry out the law. So it's like checks and balances. So let's look at this part. Okay. So we said the legislative branch is Congress, and Congress is made up of the Senate and the House of Representatives. So Senate has two representatives, two senators from each state. Senators. So every state in the United States has two senators, and there are 50 states. So there are 100 senators. So it doesn't matter the population of the state, the size of the state. They all have two senators, every state. So there are 100 senators. The House of Representatives is a little different in that the House seats are apportioned by population. Currently, there are 435 representatives in the House. That is the maximum right now, although there is debate over whether, because the population is now a lot larger, whether to change that number. And it was larger one time when Hawaii and Alaska were made states in 1959. It was a little bit larger. But the House and the Senate voted to keep it under 435. It can be less than, but it can't be more, just so that they could be small enough to debate issues, and they just felt like it would get too large. So that is currently 435. So I thought it might be fun, since we've learned that there are 435 representatives, to use something that we learned a few videos ago, maybe 10 videos ago, believe it or not, the Roman numerals. So 435, I was trying to remember in that video, did we go up to 500? I think we did. So 500 is C. Okay, C equals 500. And D equals 100. So if a number smaller comes after it, then you subtract that amount. So CD ends up being 400. And then X equals 10. So we do 10, 20, 30, and V equals 5. So V. So the Roman numeral for 435 is CDXXXV. Wasn't that fun? So we have 435 members of the House, 50 members of the Senate. Those two make up our Congress, and they meet up at the U.S. Capitol. And that is the legislative branch. Okay, and then we have the judicial branch. I don't have a lot to say about that, I don't think. And the executive branch. So these are the three branches. So if you don't remember anything else from this, you can remember there's legislative, executive, and judicial. And by having three branches of government, you have checks and balances that keeps any one branch from becoming too powerful. And that's the basics. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think so. So, thank you for watching. Talk to you guys soon.